Hello again everyone, and welcome to the back garden yard. In today's video we're going to revisit the tomatoes and the cucumbers, and I released recently 2 videos that showed how to double your output of both of these. Well, now I'm going to follow up and let the viewers decide if they really think that this is doubling my output of tomatoes and cucumbers or not. So let's go. Now, you can see on the bottom of this tomato plant how the leaders have come out and how they're starting to set fruit. We'll go up this leader here, and there's another patch of fruit right there. And then we'll come back down, and we're going to go up this leader. And as we go up this leader, there's another patch of fruit. And we're going on up. And there's another patch of fruit. The leader went on through the trellis, and it's setting some more fruit right here now. And then it went on to the other side of the trellis, and it's getting ready to set more fruit up here. Now this plant is massive, and you can see where it came out of the ground. Move that leaf, and then the leaders came out, and I didn't trim them, I let them come up. Now it's setting fruit here, and it split, and a new leader came up and it went here, and then we've got more over here. So that is what's happening with the tomatoes right now. Let's go look at the cucumbers. So here we are in the cucumber patch. And this little one here, we're going to go ahead and harvest, because the first ones are not going to get full size. This is definitely eating size though. And I see another one over here. So we'll go ahead. You want to go ahead and pull these small ones off, because they might mature, and then the vine will think it's done its job and it will quit growing them. Here's another couple I'm going to take off. So you want to get those early cucumbers, whether they're mature or not. You want to go ahead and get them off. And of course, you can eat these. So there we go. Now, I think this is a good example to show you. All right, there's one more to take off. Okay. So what we did was, when the vine got to the top of the fence here, to the top of the trellis, we went ahead and topped it. And we did that to stimulate the bottom of the plant to make suckers that would come out. So if you see right here is where the original plant was, it made a sucker that went here. We're going to try to follow that through here. So you can see it went up here, and here it is now. And if you notice that every bud on it, there's the little cucumber, that's the female. This one bloomed today, it's a female. So what it does is it makes, this was making, you can see these male flowers here, no cucumber under it. And then all these that it's making now are females. And that's the whole idea that you want to do. So we'll go on up another one of these leaders. So we went up this one right here, and it split, and it made a leader that went up this way. And you can see that's the female flower. And over here, that's the female flower on it. And so that's the idea behind topping it. It'll stimulate the plant to make female flowers, to reproduce itself. Okay, and we'll go up one more while we're here. And this is the original And as you see, these are all male flowers. All male flowers. So that is why it's important to go ahead and top it. This one did actually, it's blooming today, put a female flower on there at the end after I had topped it right here. Okay, I think that's showing enough on the cucumbers. Now what we have to do is we have to pull this mulch back. You can see where I put a little 7 there to keep the bugs down. We're going to have to pull this mulch back, and we're going to put some 10-10-10 around it, and then we're going to put the mulch back on it. And so what I'm going to do is go get the 10-10-10, sprinkle just a little around, put a little bit of dirt back over the 10-10-10, and then put this back on top. So I won't actually show that in this video, but that's what I'm going to do, because these plants now are huge. Just look at these plants. And they need a lot of nutrition to make these cucumbers. So that's what we're doing. There's one of my bee friends right here. There's another one. And so you can see these cucumbers are doing fantastic. And they need some nutrition, so it's time to fertilize. They've set a crop, and it's time to fertilize. We want to make big, over foot long cucumbers here. And the cucumbers are hanging here, the bees are pollinating, and all is well in the cucumber patch. So now we're back to the tomato patch, and I want to show you a couple other things before we go. So I've been back out here since the original video, and you can see where I have tied these leaders up to keep them from coming way out here, because the idea is you want the natural foliage to grow out this way and shade these tomatoes so they won't sunburn in the July heat before they mature. So we're going to try to use natural shade. And of course I do have some shade cloth if I need it, and I can make a little contraption there and shade the tomatoes. But what I want to do is, what I usually do is I will take a leader like this, and I'm going to pull it on over a little more like this, pull it in so it will actually shade these tomatoes down here with the foliage and leaders that it makes. And so that's the idea. And so what I'm going to do is take a good look at these, and any leaders that need to be pulled in and tied, like maybe this one here, I'm going to pull them in and tie them. And that's what you do to maintain your tomato crop and to shade the foliage over the tomatoes. And so that's what we're going to do. Now the second thing we have to do is just like with the cucumbers. We've got to get down here. You got to pull back. The straw. There's a couple things I want you to see going on. One is how much I mounded these tomatoes. Now when you mound them like that, one thing this does is holds the water. So if you've got a big mound, and you can see the roots are all the way to the top of that mound, so what you want to do is mound it. Then when you water it, or when it rains, that whole mound absorbs the water, and therefore the tomato plant is going to be much more healthy. And then if you put the mulch back on it, that's going to help to make the plant hold and retain more water, because it won't evaporate as fast. So that's what's going on here. Well, I'm going to go ahead and get the 10-10-10 and show you that on this, and I'll be right back. So I've got the 10-10-10, and I'm going to get a generous handful this time. I've got that much, because this is a huge plant and it needs a lot of fertilizer. But I'm not going to put it on thick. I'm going to spread it around this base, and you don't want to touch the plant with it. So get on the other side. So I have put it on pretty thick here, and that's fine. Now what I'm going to do is I got some loose soil here, and I'm going to take the loose soil and put on top of the fertilizer. That'll hold it into place along with the mulch. So that it won't wash off when I water or when the rain comes. Because this plant needs a lot of nutrition now to set those tomatoes. Tomatoes are there, and you remember in the earlier video I said don't fertilize them till they set fruit. And that's why, because you want them to go ahead and set fruit. Well, this is set the fruit. Now we want to go ahead and put back the mulch over the dirt and fertilizer we just put on there. Probably could use a little more mulch at this point. But there you go, and that's what you want to do. Now the final thing you want to do is you want to check these lower leaves, and ones like this that are down touching the ground going down, you want to go ahead and cut the lower leaves off so they won't get some disease on them. This plant's very, very healthy. Only has a couple that looks like even need trimming, and so that's what we do. The next one I'm going to do will be this one, but for the length of this video's sake, I'm not going to show you all of the fertilizing of the whole row of tomatoes. But I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have, please like and subscribe, and we will see you on the next video.